right, kiddos, today we're going to learn a second lesson on Australia. But before Albert takes us around to see some more very cool, interesting things in his country, let's see if you can still remember how many continents do we have in the world, K5? 7. Very good. What are they? North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, and Antarctica. And how many oceans do we have? 5. What are they? Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Indian Ocean, and Southern Ocean. Very, very good. So we are learning all about Australia, and Albert is going to take us around. But before he does, tell me, which continent is Australia located in? Australia, yes, very, very good. So today Albert is going to take us around. We're going to see some more very cool, interesting facts. Last time we talked about Australia, we talked about some fun, cool animals that they have there. We talked about a koala, and here's a picture of a koala. We talked about a platypus, and here's a picture of a platypus. And today, Albert is going to take us around to see some other different things. So, in Australia, going back here to the map, we're going to see that it's surrounded by water. There's a lot of water all around. So most of the people who live in Australia, who live here, they live in cities that are right next to the ocean. Therefore, they absolutely love water sports. So they love swimming, surfing, diving, sailing. These are all favorite sports in Australia. Now, their houses look a lot like our houses does here in the United States. But Albert and his family, they live on a sheep ranch that are many miles from the coast. And we're going to talk about it. So they call it a sheep station. And there's a picture of it right here. You can see a picture of a sheep station right here. Albert's father has over 1,000 sheep on his station. That is a lot of sheep. Can you think about it? 1,000. And Albert is very good at helping his dad take care of all of them. Fences are very important at the sheep station. Why do you think fences are important? That's right. If you remember last time we talked about a dingo, and a dingo is sort of like a wild type of dog that can be dangerous to the sheep. So the fences are very important because the fences help to keep the dingoes away and therefore keep the sheep safe. Albert's father hires other men to help with the sheep as well because just Albert and himself are not enough to take care of all these sheep. In Australia, they call these ranch workers jackaroos. What do they call them? Jackaroos. One more time, what do they call them? Jackaroos. Very good. So what's a jackaroo? A ranch worker. We would call them farmers here, but in Australia they call them jackaroos. So Australians, they raise thousands of sheep, and in the spring the sheep get a haircut. How many of you like to get a haircut? How many of you have to get a haircut even if you don't like it? So sheep get haircuts too, and when they get haircuts, the wool is what will be cut off. And people use this to make blankets, sweaters, jackets, mittens, all sorts of things to keep us nice and warm. Children who live on big stations live so far away from towns that they are not able to go to school like we do. But instead, many go to school by computer, just like we're doing these couple of weeks. So we're getting to experience a little bit of what Australian children experience. But they don't call it computer school, or they don't call it online learning. They have a special name, and the name that they use is School of the Air. What do they call it? One more time. School of the Air. Very good. So Albert, he listens to and talks to his teacher on his computer. That's how he learns. And today, Albert's also going to take us to visit a very famous Australian landmark, and it's called Uluru, or another name for it is Ayers Rock, and there's a picture of it right here. Look at how big that is. It's a very famous Australian landmark. And this is a huge rock on the Australian plains that stands 1,000 feet high and is almost 6 miles around. And it also looks very red in the sunset, so it's beautiful. Friends of Albert from the next sheep station are coming for a cricket game today. And a cricket game is a little bit like baseball, and it's Albert's favorite summer sport. After the game, we'll all have a Barbie. We'll have a Barbie. What does that mean? Are all the girls gonna bring their Barbies out and everybody's gonna sit around and play with them? No. That's not what a Barbie is. Because it is so warm, Australians can barbecue all year round. But instead of calling it barbecue, they just call it a Barbie. So that's what it means when they say that they're going to have a Barbie after the game. It means they're going to have barbecue. Albert loves hamburgers just as much as we do. And they call the evening meal tea, not supper, nor dinner. They call it tea. There's a beautiful underwater world out in the ocean close to Australia, known as the Great Barrier Reef. And there's a picture of it right here. Look at how beautiful it is, K5. How beautiful, how colorful. So beautiful. Brightly colored tropical fish live there among the coral. And coral is actually made by tiny sea animals called coral. So that's what that is. And it's made in many beautiful colors. Very beautiful. Now, Australians, they speak English just like we do. So if you ever go to Australia, you're going to be able to understand everything everybody's saying. But there are some words that are a little bit different. So you might not understand some of the expressions they use. But I'm going to teach you some of them. Are you ready? So if somebody says lollies, for example, they mean hard candy. Another thing is bloke. A bloke is a man. Very good. Bloke is a man. Another thing, how many of you like sneakers? A lot of kids like sneakers. A lot of kids your age like sneakers. But if you go to Australia and you're looking for sneakers, you're not going to find them because they don't call it sneakers. They call it sand shoes. What do they call sneakers? Sand shoes. Very good. And if they have a friend, they don't call their friend a friend or a pal. They call it a mate. So everybody say, hey mate. And that means, hey friend. And that is all about Australia for today. So we learned about the sheep station. We learned about the Great Barrier Reef. We learned all about Uluru or Ayers Rock. We got to see pictures of koalas and platypus, which we talked about last time. So, very cool. And I have some questions for you. Are you ready? Are you ready to answer my questions? Are you positive? All right, kiddos, tell me, what is a large sheep ranch called in Australia? A sheep station, yes. Now, we talked about this last time we talked about Australia, and I reviewed it a little bit today, but let's see if you remember. What are dingoes? What are dingoes? Yes, dingoes are wild dogs that might attack the sheep, so they need fences around the sheep station to keep them safe. Okay, now tell me, we talked about how sheep get haircuts, just like we do. And then their wool that is used to make different kinds of things. Tell me a few things that their wool can be used for. Blankets, very good. What else? What can you put in your hands? Mittens, good. Sweaters, awesome job. Jackets, yes. What is a favorite summer sport for boys? We have something similar here that we call baseball. What do they have there? It's called cricket. Yes. And what about this? What about water sports that they like? Swimming, diving, surfing. Very, very good. And last but not least, what do Australians call their evening meal? We call it dinner or supper. What do they call it? Tea. Awesome job, K5. And now that we learned all these cool, interesting facts about Australia, you have work to do. So go ahead and grab this paper for me. I will wait. Go ahead and grab this paper. It says 131 in the bottom. It says Social Studies, lesson 118, page 131. Go ahead and grab this paper for me. Do you have it? No, not yet. All right, I'll give you a few more seconds. Now you got it? Now you're ready? Are you sure? Awesome. So what is the first thing I'm going to ask you to do? Write your name. Yes. Paying attention to the line. Circles are round. Sticks are straight. Letters are together. Not touching, but together. Very good. So in the front part, there's nothing to do. I'm going to read you what it says. It says, there are many sheep on the sheep station where Albert lives. Rich workers are called jackaroos. Good job. And then in the bottom it says Uluru or Ayers Rock is a huge rock on the Australian plains. It looks red in the sunset. So in the front it's just pictures for you to look at. Then you're going to flip it over. And in the back it says Albert loves it when his family has a Barbie. What's a Barbie? A barbecue, yes. And it says the boys will play a game of cricket. And all you have to do is color the picture. And you can use any color you want. Doesn't have to be anything specific. You can be as creative as you want because you're just coloring his clothes. So it can be any color you want. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy.